At the impact, not just on President Putin's rule, but also on the war in Ukraine, where developments are, not surprisingly, being followed extremely closely. Earlier, I spoke to Yuriy. He's an advisor to Ukraine's Minister of Defense, and asked him for his reaction.
Please, we are little by little running out of popcorn, to be honest, because the way things develop, it's unprecedented speed. But on a serious note, on February 23, the whole world thought that Russia was the second most powerful army in the world. Yesterday, everybody knew that Russia was the second most powerful army in Ukraine. And today, we're seeing how Russian army is becoming the second most powerful army in Russia. So this is something that we knew was going to happen sooner or later, and we told about this because the Kremlin has been lying for such a long time, and the lies that they were spreading about everything, about reality, about the situation on the front line, about the losses of the Russian army, this lie was so gigantic that sooner or later this wasn't going to implode and lead to a civil war. And what we are seeing now in Russia is a civil war. Our mission remains unchanged. We must liberate our lands. And we continue to be the target of Russian missile terror. For example, last night they have launched more than 50 missiles at Ukrainian cities, including Kyiv. Whatever makes Russia weaker, and what happens now is making Russia weaker, makes the victory closer.
Yes, but as you mentioned, even as this drama unfolded on Friday evening, it didn't stop. In fact, it seems to have even accelerated the attacks against Ukraine, including Kyiv. So it's very early to say what will be the impact on the course of this war.
Exactly. And this is why, while we are watching the situation carefully, we are extremely vigilant. We have no intention to slow down or to relax or, to be easy for now. Of course, this is, like I said, we are on our mission. We will continue to do what we have to do to liberate our land.
Do you call this a coup?
At this moment, we would like to avoid, giving names to what is happening right now. For us, all participants of this civil war in Russia are war criminals, and we will continue our efforts to make sure that we bring them all to account because they have all committed atrocities and war crimes on our land. So this is the fate of whatever happens in Russia and whoever gets the upper hand. They are all war criminals. They all have to stand trial.
Anything else, Yuriy, that you've noticed in the past? It's less than 24 hours.
The whole, for example, Russian propaganda machine is in panic. Their messages are confused. It's very clear that they haven't expected this to happen, and they are now in a complete disarray. Another important thing, which I think will, in a way, predetermine what will happen next, is the fact that Wagner, the terrorist group Wagner, they are a strong force and they have battlefield experience, and they will be now standing up against those Russian internal military forces that don't have any military experience. So it's going to be something that we have to watch very carefully. What will happen in Russia?
But your comments suggest that you think that there was a warning, a threat from Prigozhin that they would head to Moscow. They are advancing. You're saying that their superior forces could continue that journey and overwhelm less formidable Russian forces on the way.
That's one way to look at the situation. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
And that is Yuriy, an advisor to Ukraine's defense minister.